I'm 71 years old, and most mornings I wake up to a quiet that feels earned but not deserved. The house is comfortable, it's paid for, the bills are handled. On paper, my life looks like it worked out, but there's a kind of loneliness that settles in when there's no one left to share the weight of it with, and I didn't understand that until the noise finally stopped.
I'm not telling this to complain. I made my choices. I stood by them for a long time. I'm telling it because when you get to this age, you start seeing your life as a whole instead of a series of busy years. And when I look at mine, I can see how success slowly replaced connection without me noticing. Time feels different now. It doesn't rush me anymore. It waits. My body reminds me where the limits are. My days are quieter, slower, and in that quiet, memories show up, whether I invite them or not. I sit in rooms that once echoed with conversations I half listened to. I walk past shelves full of things I worked hard for, things I thought would matter more than they do now. They don't talk back. They don't remember me. When I was younger, success felt urgent, necessary. I didn't grow up with much, and I learned early that security came from effort, from being dependable, from staying ahead of the next problem. I wasn't chasing praise, I was chasing relief, the idea that one day I could stop worrying. In my 20s, I worked long hours because that's what you did if you wanted to build something. I told myself it was temporary. Just a few years, get established, get stable, then I'd slow down. In my 30s, the responsibilities multiplied. A family, a mortgage, expectations. People relied on me, and I took that seriously. I liked being needed. It gave shape to my days. It made the exhaustion feel justified. I wasn't reckless. I didn't throw anything away. I showed up. I provided. I kept things running. From the outside, I looked steady, reliable, someone who had it together. Inside, I was always tired. I came home late more often than I meant to. I missed dinners and told myself we'd have breakfast instead. I promised weekends and then filled them with work calls and errands that couldn't wait. I listened to stories with half my attention, while my mind stayed somewhere else. I didn't think I was doing damage. I thought I was being responsible. When people wanted more of me emotionally, I didn't always know how to give it. I wasn't cold. I just believed that showing love meant showing up physically, paying for things, fixing problems. I thought that was the language everyone understood. I didn't notice how often conversations ended with me distracted. I didn't notice how people stopped trying to pull me back into the room. Not right away. The changes were small. Missed phone calls that didn't get returned until days later. Invitations declined with an easy excuse. Friends who stopped checking in because they assumed I was busy or uninterested. I was busy, but I was also unavailable in ways I didn't recognize. As my career grew, so did the distance. Success came with praise, with titles, with a sense of arrival. People respected me. Some admired me. But respect isn't the same as closeness, and admiration doesn't sit with you at the end of the day. I remember sitting in meetings, surrounded by people, feeling oddly separate. Everyone was polite, efficient. Conversations stayed on the surface. I was good at that world. I knew the rules. I just didn't notice how much of myself I left there every evening. At home, the energy I had left was thin. I answered questions briefly. I assumed everyone understood why. I told myself they were resilient, that they knew I cared, even if I didn't say it often. I thought love was implied. Years passed that way, not dramatically, just steadily. Milestones came and went. Birthdays, anniversaries, celebrations where I was present but not fully there. I smiled for photos, I made speeches when expected, and I went back to thinking about the next obligation. I told myself there would be time later to reconnect, after the next promotion, after things settled down, after I could finally breathe. Later kept moving. The turning point wasn't a single event. It rarely is. It was a series of realizations that arrived too late to do much with. Retirement was the first crack. I had imagined it as a release, a reward. All the time I'd been postponing would finally open up. I'd catch up on everything I missed. What I didn't expect was how quiet it would be. The phone didn't ring the way it used to. Work contacts faded quickly. They were polite, but they moved on. That's how it works. I understood that, but understanding didn't make it easier. At home, routines changed. There was no urgency anymore, and without it, I realized how few habits I had built around people instead of tasks. Some relationships were still there, but they felt thin, careful, as if we were all aware of how long it had been since we really talked. Then someone I'd known for decades died, a man I used to work alongside, someone I assumed I'd reconnect with someday. We hadn't spoken in years. At the funeral, I stood with people who knew him better in the end than I did. I realized how easily a life can close without a chance to reopen old doors. That stayed with me. I started noticing how many people from my past were only memories now, not because of conflict, not because of choice, just because no one had made the effort to keep the connection alive. And I saw my role in that more clearly than I wanted to. There are things that can't be fixed at this point, not because people wouldn't forgive me, but because time has changed the shape of the relationships too much. You can't step back into someone's life after decades and expect it to fit the same way. I can't go back and be more present when it mattered. I can't reclaim the ease that comes from shared history that's been tended to over time. I can't make people feel prioritized retroactively. Some of the people I love are polite now, kind, but careful. We talk about weather and health and safe subjects. We don't reach into the deeper parts anymore. I didn't build that muscle when I had the chance. Success gave me comfort. It gave me stability. It gave me proof that my effort meant something. But it also gave me excuses, reasons to postpone, reasons to believe I was doing the right thing even when something felt off. I don't regret working hard. I regret believing that work would hold the place of people until I was ready to come back. Loneliness in old age doesn't always look like isolation. Sometimes it looks like full calendars and empty conversations. It looks like being respected but not needed, remembered but not missed. I still have moments of gratitude. I don't deny that. I had opportunities many people don't get. I had success that made life easier in practical ways. That matters. But gratitude doesn't erase the quiet. If this meant something to you, I don't know what success means in your life. It might look different than it did in mine. All I know is that I assumed there would be time to balance things later. I assumed relationships could be paused and resumed without consequence. They can't, not fully. People adjust to the version of you that shows up consistently. If that version is distracted or busy or emotionally absent, they learn to live without asking more. I didn't realize how lonely success could become because it doesn't feel lonely while you're chasing it. It feels purposeful, necessary. It feels like progress. The loneliness comes afterwards when the chasing stops and you're left with what you built alongside it. I don't have much time left to rearrange my life. I know that. My energy is different now. My world is smaller. I do what I can with what remains. Some days are quiet in a way I've learned to accept. Other days, the weight of what I missed settles in and stays. If this meant something to you, you don't need to change anything overnight. Just notice who you're postponing. Notice what you assume will wait. At 71, I understand things I didn't have room for before. That understanding doesn't fix much, but it does bring honesty. And honesty, even late, feels better than pretending the quiet doesn't matter. This is what I wanted to say.